Alright guys, if you came across this video, you are probably interested in Sons of the Forest, and by the time I'm recording this video, we're only 39 days away from release. Now, this game, the sequel to The Forest, it's been delayed 3 times, but we feel pretty confident, no more delays. We actually, by the time I'm recording this, I believe this may have already gone gold, so I think we are set. No last minute surprises, hopefully. And we also believe, just watching this IGN footage, IGN got a little bit of a hands-on preview. Some of the guys at IGN were actually able to play this for about 5.5 hours. And this is one of those genre-defining. We actually think it's gonna change the way that I think development companies approach open world survival games like this. Just from an AI standpoint alone, some of the things that Sons of the Forest is gonna make happen, particularly with AI help. Yes, we will actually, whether you're playing in multiplayer or you're playing in single player, you will have AI help at your disposal. And this is in the form of Kelvin. Now, this is seems like what's going to be like a crash victim with you, and we're going to make our way to him, it seems like, or I'm not sure how early in the game we're actually going to start out with him. And it's not just Kelvin. There are actually a couple of, apparently a couple of AI NPC type characters that we'll meet throughout the game, and some of them can help us or steer us in the right direction, and some of them are actually going to be able to follow us, help us design bases. They are really going to change the way that we approach this survival type, these survival type simulation games. And also too, the way they think is going to be approached really, really different. It even says that Kelvin, in this preview, he will look for water. He's kind of lost his hearing. You'll probably see in the video, this dude is seriously messed up. He's bleeding from the ears. If he's thirsty, he'll look for water. You can feed him. And also, it even says the way you treat him will affect what kind of partner he is for you in the game. So Kelvin can become visibly upset if you do not treat him well. And then, of course, there's a way to end Kelvin altogether for your campaign by shooting him in the head. They said striking him in the head, cutting his head off, will inevitably end your companionship with Kelvin. But I was just thinking, how cool is this going to be? Like, if you're online playing with a couple of your buddies and you guys want to do some exploring and you want to have Kelvin do some of the more mundane tasks around the camp or around the fort, like collecting wood, collecting rock. I think this is going to be an absolute game changer without sounding so cliche, but it is. Like, we're going to have a little helper that you can send out and do some of this boring stuff for you. And also too, they said, and you can actually even see it in the video, he will help you fight. He points out enemies. You'll see it here in a few minutes. Some of the enemy AI are actually coming up on you. And you can see it's kind of like bleeding from the ear right here in just a sec. He points the enemies out, so you can kind of put him on patrols, or you can put him totally just gathering resources. The 3-legged woman that you kind of see in the waterfall and in the winter section, that is Virginia. It's going to actually take a little more time, it appears, to gain her trust. It says she's really skittish at first, but if you can gain her trust, she actually appears to become a pretty valuable asset. We see her wielding a shotgun, wielding a pistol, blowing some mutants away that seems like they've jumped over your wall. And that is not all of the AI improvements. Apparently, they have went truly next gen with the enemy AI. These guys actually prepare for winter. There are leadership AI mutants that actually have an effect on some of the smaller mutants that are attacking you, and they can actually give out direction, and essentially they can change their attack on the fly based on what you're doing. And some of the AI, they don't actually attack you. Some of them are just coming in to kind of see what you're doing. Some of them will come in and try to steal your supplies. Some of them will try to destroy just the walls and the buildings that you've constructed. And some of them will straight up just come at you, and they are trying to take your head off. But yes, it appears there is going to be a leadership type rankings with some of these AI. And another thing that's kind of interesting that the guy on IGN said that he did stupidly was his words. He went into a cave and essentially drew out AI, these mutants that actually go to war with surface mutants. So these things would have never came into contact if he wouldn't have went in and drew them out. And actually, when they come out of the cave, the surface mutants recognize that they've came out of the cave, and it starts a massive war right at his doorstep. So you've got not only these mutants attacking each other kind of right where they've tracked you back to, but the mutants that were investigating you to begin with start attacking the cave-dwelling mutants. So this is going to be freaking insanely interesting. We're talking about mutant wars. We're talking about seasons that you're going to have to prepare for. The game will have, summer, spring, autumn, fall, and it will slowly change over in game time. And resources, animals will obviously become a little more sparse in the winter time, and berries and harvesting. All of that stuff is going to change as these seasons roll on. So I think that is going to put a very, very fun twist on this. As far as the blueprints go, they're not going to have like the Forest did with the blueprints. A lot of this is going to be focused on what you can make happen with the different pieces. You'll probably see here as well the different wood pieces. You can split that, you can split them differently to either make your platforms, or if you want your walls to have wooden spikes, you'll be able to smash those. And I just think the way they approach this is going to be really, really interesting. We've got mutant little babies down in the caves. You can see your battery is going to actually have life that you're going to have to watch out for while you're down in the caves. You can even see him on a couple of these clips. He's throwing the big logs out into the waterfall, and what we're assuming is using the river to rush them down towards your camp. It seems like, I think it's going to be really open. I don't know what you guys are going to want to do. Are you going to want to start your base right on the river? Are you going to want to do it on this little placid kind of pond that they have going on? We're hearing that the map is going to be 4 times larger than the forest. So a lot of stuff to explore. You see some of our guys, they're actually coming through. It looks like they come across an old camp. There's going to be a lot of different massive cave systems to explore. Essentially, I'm thinking when you rank up enough, you're not going to want to go down in there. Probably at the start of the game, that's going to be something you're going to want to kind of build up for. Your clothes, you're going to have to weather condition your clothes. The absolute just goriness of this action fighting is going to be insane, from chopping heads off to shotgun explosions and like that shotgun penetration. When you're taking on these mutant clans, there are going to be all kinds of different mutant clans, and this is just I think this is going to be definitely one of those titles that is going to take up a lot of our time, just trying over and over again to find that good spot. Are you going to want to go into the middle of the woods, kind of where that's what's so cool about these games. And remember, with the forest, you could go in the woods and maybe have a little more cover, but that almost hinders you to an extent, because you can't see enemies coming as easily, when there are trees everywhere. So are you going to want to start a little settlement on the edge of the river where it's a little more open, the trees aren't as dense? I just think this is mixed in with the AI and all of this, the weather changing systems, the different type of construction we're going to be able to come up with. This is, I think we're going to be in for an absolutely insane sequel, maybe one of the best sequels to one of these survival games that we have seen in a long time. But like I said, guys, we are under the 40-day mark now, so let me know if you guys are excited for Sons of the Forest. It will be single player, multiplayer. You'll be able to jump in with your friends, and like we said, the Kelvin, some of the different AI NPCs that you come across, even if you are playing on multiplayer, these guys will still be in that version. And, you know, with your friends, you'll kind of have to decide what you want the AI to perform and what kind of tasks you want them to go on. Maybe while you guys take on some more of the interesting exploring, maybe more of the hardcore tasks that you want to get done for your fort and your or your log cabin. So yeah, let me know. This seems to be shaping up to be a very, very interesting title. I'm SDN Wolf. Thank you guys for stopping by, and thanks IGN for putting this footage out so we can kind of get on here and talk about it with you guys. And yep, I will catch you in the next video. See ya.